This is a Crisscross Picks production. Alright, so both fighters checked in. Shannon Ross versus Jesus Aguilar, UFC 290, fight number 2. Let's get it on. And both guys very capable of winning. To me, it's a pretty even matchup, so we'll see how this transpires. I'm looking forward to a long decision battle here. First 10 seconds gone. And Aguilar lands a right leg kick already. Nice. Followed up by Ross. Oh, big right! It's over! Dude! And Aguilar, being a sportsman, tried to go over there and check on him, and he got shoved off by the ref, but one punch. Man, and the crowd is going crazy. Can you imagine? This is why when it comes to the UFC, you've got to be there on time, man. Look at all these empty seats. There is no way if I go to a UFC event, I'm missing even the first second of the first fight. And it's going to officially be 17 seconds, at least is what it's showing right now. Both guys basically landed a leg kick. And we'll see the replay now. Jesus Aguilar just landed a huge right hand. All right, so we'll see where they start this. Yep, boom. And what's crazy is Jesus just dropped his whole head and just threw a big right hand. Yeah. And it just caught Shannon Ross. I mean, he just didn't see it coming because he was paying attention to Jesus Aguilar putting his head down. Boom. Wow. Wow. So Jesus Aguilar getting the win, man. Didn't take long at all. He's going to move to 9-2. The crowd roared when it happened. And who says flyweights can't pack some power? This fight went down flyweight division, UFC 290. Now Cameron Saaiman takes the back. And he's got the leg wrapped around. Looks a lot like Khabib versus McGregor when he finished him. And he's looking for the finish here. Now Terrance Mitchell gets laid out. Saaiman pounding away with the left hand, and Mitchell covers up with the left. And he's blocking it for now, but he's got him stretched out now. This is like Makhachev Islam versus Bobby Green. Stretches him out. He's got the back. He's pounded away, and the ref's right there, man. And Cameron Saaiman's really opening up. Terrance Mitchell can't do anything, and this fight's going to get stopped, and that's it. Cameron Saaiman gets the win. And, man, he dominated this fight over the last minute. This fight only lasted about 3 minutes, but especially the last minute of the fight, he really reversed position, began to take the back, eventually stretched him out. And Cameron Saaiman's going to remain undefeated at 9-0. Unbelievable performance. And, Terrance Mitchell left the ref no choice but to stop the fight. I mean, he's flat on his stomach. Cameron Saaiman took the back, got the legs wrapped around, stretched him out, began to pound away, and the ref has to stop it. So Terrance Mitchell, listen, good fighter in his own right, is going to fall to 15-3. So it's not like he came in here and wasn't a big-time fighter. So Cameron Saaiman answered some questions here against a good fighter and gets the win. Another fight full of power in a lower division, bantamweight division, UFC 290. Now Vitor Petrino's got the full mount, locking it in. And Marcin Prachnio hasn't done much to get off the ground throughout this fight, being taken down in all 3 rounds, 4 takedowns total, over 7 minutes of control time now. But the biggest question is, can Vitor get a finish here after all this control? He lands some shots. Oh, here comes a triangle. Oh, boy. And Prachnio's not even trying to get out of it. Oh, man, Petrino really locks this in. And Prachnio's in a little bit of trouble here. Come on, finish it. Finish it, Vitor. And he taps. Let's go. Yes. 4 for 4 on the night. Great start for us in our early prelims. Vitor Petrino gets the submission here with about 1:15 left in the fight. An impressive performance. And this is a guy that's early in his career. Just 9-0 now. Making it to the UFC after just his second fight, coming through the Contender Series. So he's building himself up in the right way, and the light heavyweight division could certainly use some depth. And this is a guy that can provide that. So look out for Vitor Petrino. And heck of a takedown here at the end. And, you know, he just slowly works his way up the body and eventually locks in the triangle and finishes this thing. And he pounded away to get the hands where he needed them to be. And once he locked this in, man, forget about it. And you see Prachnio kind of knows. He ends up tapping. And Vitor Petrino gets the win. 8:40 of control time on 4 takedowns. He trailed in total strikes and significant strikes, but he was more focused on getting his first submission victory, which he did. Light heavyweight division, UFC 290. Now Crute jumps in for the takedown. He gets it. Got the head on the hip. Good opportunity for Crute here. Oh, Menifield gets up, and now he's getting underneath. Look out, Crute. Oh, Crute lost his hands. He lost his focus for a second, and Crute taps. Oh, my goodness gracious. Unbelievable, man. Alonzo Menifield gets the finish. And this is a rematch after a majority draw the first time. But this time it goes the way of Alonzo Menifield. And Crute went in for the takedown, landed it. Menifield got up the entire time. Crute had his head on the hip, but eventually lost track of the hands of Alonzo Menifield, and Menifield locked it in. And Crute takes a knee, and he's taking the gloves off. So, and is this it for Jimmy Crute? I mean, it looks like he's putting the gloves down. And he looks frustrated. Now's not the time to make decisions like this, but it looks like Jimmy Crute's going to say that's it for the career, potentially. But nonetheless, regardless of what happens, Alonzo Menifield gets the win. He's going to move to 14-3. And these are two guys that are pretty evenly matched. It's just a shame that Jimmy Crute lost his focus for just 1 second here. Light heavyweight division, UFC 290. Yazmin Jauregui and Denise Gomes getting ready to kick off. Believe it or not, this is the second biggest trending fight on the card, at least for our channel in terms of predictions. So we'll see how this goes. Both fighters coming in with a lot of hype. Jauregui 10-0, Denise Gomes 7-2. They touch gloves, and here we go. This fight's underway. Oh, and a big right by Gomes. Already throttles Jauregui, and she's on top, pounding away. Look at this. Just 10 seconds in, pounding away with the left. Come on, Jauregui, get up. Get up. The ref's looking at it, and he stops it. Wow, maybe an early stoppage, but when you look at Jauregui, forget about it, man. Denise Gomes jumped all over her. And she's sitting in the corner looking stunned that the fight was stopped, but I don't know that she would have came back in this fight. I mean, this thing was done after that big right hand with about 8 seconds into the fight. So Daniel Cormier is saying there's going to be a lot of finishes tonight. He's not lying. We had one in 17 seconds. Now officially 21 seconds, it looks like. And 4 of the first 6 fights have been finishes. Oh, the big right. Yeah, second big right is what caused Yazmin to fall back. And then Gomes is on top. And let's see this in slow motion now. About 5 or 6 lefts. And Yazmin's trying to stand up, but she can't get up. Boom, you see the first right hand. And then amazingly, the second right hand is what caused Yazmin to stumble, and she would not recover. So Denise Gomes is going to get a 21-second KO finish. The Brazilian is going to move to 8-2. Look out. Women's strawweight division. Great division. UFC 290. Robbie Lawler entering the octagon for his last professional MMA fight, last fight in the UFC. We'll see how he goes out. And I'll tell you what, the numbers have changed. The odds, live odds have changed. And you got some people throwing down on Robbie Lawler, thinking that this last fight may give him an edge. The crowd is definitely supporting him. The crowd is chanting Robbie as this fight gets ready to get underway. And Robbie's a guy you got to be careful with. I mean, the first 2 minutes of the fight, he can hang with anybody. He just tends to get tired as time goes on. So both fighters touch gloves. And here we go. And Niko shoves off a leg kick already. First 10 seconds gone. And Robbie looks good. He looks a little slimmed down to me. A little lighter on his feet. Ooh. Big left and right by Robbie Lawler. And he's dancing around. He looks like a kid again in there. He's got the adrenaline pumping for the last fight. And lands a left and a right. And Niko Price looks a little hesitant here. Ooh, and Niko takes a left, another left. Niko goes down. Look at this. And that's it. Niko is done. And the crowd goes crazy. Robbie Lawler's last fight. And you already see the facial expression. He looks sad. But if you're going to go out, that's the way to go out. Robbie Lawler gets the KO finish over Niko Price. And I'll tell you what, he's probably rethinking whether he wants to retire or not. Going in there and getting the KO in 39 seconds, but he's on the verge of tears. And a long, long career for Robbie Lawler comes to an end. And good for him. He gets the 30th win as well, right? He came in at 29 and 16. He's going to go out at 30 and 16. Again, 39-second KO. And he's on one knee now, and he's in tears. And he's been around for a long, long time, man. And the fact he dropped Niko Price that fast is amazing. Just 7 significant strikes to 2. And, man, we've had 3 finishes tonight in under 39 seconds. Unbelievable. This fight went down welterweight division, UFC 290. Bo Nickal versus Val Woodburn getting ready to kick off. Fans are on their feet because both these guys possess a lot of power. Woodburn taking this fight on less than 7 days' notice. And he's short, low to the ground. They say he's good on the ground. I don't know, but he's 7-0. Fighting at a regional MMA fights in Florida, specifically Tallahassee. So we'll see. And the fight's starting off slow. Oh, and a nice left there by Nickal. Nickal shoots for the takedown. He can't get it. So Woodburn stuffs the first one. And he's taking his time. Whether he's timid or smart, we don't know yet. Oh, Bo Nickal lands a big right and a left. Woodburn in trouble. He takes another left. Oh, he's wobbled. It's over. Ooh, he goes down. And Bo Nickal with a big right, and the ref jumps in. Chris Tognoni wasted no time. And Woodburn is finished. Dude, Bo Nickal is for real, bro. Bo Nickal 5-0. This guy is for real. And yeah, it's like he fought someone off the street. And we were getting comments the last few days like, look out for Woodburn. He's good on the ground. He's tough. Bo Nickal is just ridiculous, man. No takedown needed. No takedown needed as he jumps over the cage and looks at Trump, gives him a fist pump, and that was it. And Nickal landed a big right jab, a huge right hook, and Val Woodburn was wobbled, and it didn't take long at all. So here we go. We see the big right hook. Yep. And right there, he wobbles Woodburn, who's throwing a jab, and just completely stops the momentum of the throw. Woodburn throwing some big punches himself, but then after the big right hook, he takes a left and a left uppercut. He goes down, and Bo Nickal landed another big right, and that was it. So Chris Tognoni getting in there real quick. Good job by him. But Bo Nickal is for real, ladies and gentlemen. 5-0. Middleweight division. UFC 290. Unbelievable. Jalin Turner leading the fight for the first 9 minutes. And at the end of the second round, Dan Hooker almost finished. Jalin Turner turned it around, led by 6 significant strikes in that round as we look at some of the replays. And then dominated round 3. So I think Dan Hooker won this fight. And it's a shame because Jalin Turner, who we predicted to win, a guy that I like, came out and looked great early on in the fight. And looked like he was just going to dominate this fight. Now we're getting looks backstage of Volkanovski. You got Adesanya in the crowd. All these guys trained together along with Dan Hooker. A few others on this card. And you're getting a look from the hometown here as well. But yeah, I think Dan Hooker came back and won this fight. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a split decision because round 2 was close, but it should be 29-28 Dan Hooker, and they're getting him cleaned up. As he walks to the center of the octagon, Jalin Turner already there, and this is going to be a very interesting decision. Potentially the fight of the night with all these early finishes, right? In under a minute. We've had 4 fights in under a minute. This could potentially be the fight of the night. Here we go. It's going to be split. 29-28 Turner. 29-28 Hooker. Oh, my God. Come on. Come on. 29-28. Dan Hooker. So Jalin Turner, back-to-back losses by split decision. And this seems a lot like Angela Hill at a time when I thought she was on the rise and got back-to-back split decision losses. Well, now it's Jalin Turner following the 5-fight win streak. Goes down to Matushkam right now, Dan Hooker. But credit him, man. Credit Dan Hooker, who looked like he was going to get dominated here and just took this thing to deep waters and found a way to get the win to move to 23-12. Lightweight division, UFC 290. And Duplessis looks totally different. I mean, the fact he can breathe out of his nose now, as we hear from Joe Rogan and Daniel Cormier talking about it, it just seems like he has more energy. Remember, in a lot of the fights, he's down early, but not in this one. He's been in command pretty much since the beginning. Whitaker comes in with a left and a right, he misses. Duplessis brushes him back. Near headbutt. And they back off and reset. And Whitaker now breathing hard, lands a leg kick. Duplessis just shakes his head like that didn't do anything. Now Duplessis lands a leg kick to the body. Switches from lefty back to righty. Ooh. Nice jab by Whitaker. Duplessis with a right and left. Okay. And Whitaker's putting his hands down. He looks tired to me. We'll see. Whitaker slowing down. Duplessis is not. Man, Duplessis is a big guy because Robert Whitaker's big. Oh, he drops Whitaker with a right jab. Whitaker's back up. Whitaker's in a little trouble here. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Yes. Right, left, right. Let's go. Finish him. Finish him. Oh, yeah. Shot to the body. Go down, Whitaker. Yes. Finish him. Finish him. Jump in, ref. Let's go. Let's go. I told y'all, man. Yeah, Adesanya. Okay, we got a real middleweight title fight now. Dricus Duplessis versus Israel Adesanya. I don't think it matters. Hamza's still the best in the division, but nonetheless, at least we got a title fight in our hands. Dricus Duplessis stands or sits atop the octagon, lets out a roar. And you know what? Look at Adesanya's face. Adesanya looks pissed because now he's got some competition. And now Dricus shakes Trump's hand. Look at this. Trump tells him great job. Dana White telling him great job. And Dana White's got money on his mind. That's for sure. That's going to be a main event possibly at the end of the year. Dricus doesn't look like he even broke a sweat. So he'll be ready to go in 3 or 4 months. So look at... And Adesanya's got a look on his face like he's ready to go right now. And that'll probably go down in December. I'm thinking UFC 296. We'll see. I think a lot dependent on how this fight went. Whitaker smiling, Duplessis and Whitaker talking, but Dricus Duplessis finishes Robert Whitaker. Unbelievable. He'll shoot to the top. Number 1 or number 2 in the division. Dricus Duplessis is going to move to 20-2. KO comes at 2:37 into the second round. Whitaker falls to 25-8. Middleweight division. UFC 290. Brandon Moreno and Alexander Pantoja put on one of the best fights that you'll ever see. A 5-round battle, high-paced, high-activity fight at the highest level. And this thing is going to a decision, and likely Pantoja is going to pull this thing off. And it's unbelievable that neither guy got finished in this fight. I mean, from round 1, it was just high pace. It just continued for 25 straight minutes. There was never a break in the action other than some takedowns. But a high-level fight. When you get into the numbers, which won't really matter much because it'll just come down to the rounds, but it was 117-101 Moreno in significant strikes, 140-132 total for Moreno. Head strikes, 108-85. But the problem for Moreno is he gave up 6 takedowns in 8 minutes and 30 seconds of control while just landing 2 takedowns with 4 minutes and a second of control. So those takedowns for Pantoja are going to loom large because in the rounds that he had a lot of the control time, the round was very close. And the judges are likely going to give those rounds, which will be rounds 3 and 4 is what it comes down to. Really round 4 will decide this fight. And the takedown game and control time should be enough to get Pantoja over the top. So the way this thing broke down, round 1, Pantoja. Round 2, Moreno. Those are the only 2 that we really know. The other 3 are kind of toss-ups, but you would lean towards Pantoja. Here we go. Oh my goodness. $49-46 Moreno. Split. 48-47 Pantoja. Oh my gosh. 48-47. Unbelievable. And no! Wow! And Alexander Pantoja crumples to the ground. And he has finally done it. He is a world champion. And what a fight. This is the fight of the year. Unexpectedly, the fight of the year. Alexander Pantoja beats Moreno for a second time 5 years later. But I can tell you right now, if there was ever going to be a rematch, this is the one that will for sure 100% be a rematch. And what's wild is when you add up, if you add up all the judges' scorecards, Moreno would have led by 1 point. Because it was 49-46 on one, and then Pantoja won the other 2 by 1. So, man, just incredible, dude. Just incredible fight. Alexander Pantoja is the new flyweight champion of the world. He's 26-5 out of Brazil. This fight went down at UFC 290. Ooh, and the pace is picking up here at the end of round 3. Volkanovski taking a head kick. Ooh, now landing a big right on Yair. And Yair kind of laughs and shakes his head, but he's in a little bit of trouble now. Nice uppercut by Volk, and now he picks him up and takes him down. And Yair's covering up. Oh boy, Volkanovski's opening up with a right. Some big rights, a left, some more big rights. And Yair's not fighting back. Herb Dean's going to jump in there any second now. And that's it. Let's go. Volkanovski, baby. Finishes the fight in the main event. Best fight card of all time. No question. 9 finishes in 13 fights, 2 split decisions. And the regular decisions came early in the prelim, so this has to be the best fight card of all time. Volkanovski closes the door in the 3rd round and gets a finish in a fight where you think he might go the distance with Yair in an epic showdown. It didn't go that way. Volkanovski, I don't want to say dominated this fight, but led from the very beginning. And you see the big right. Yair was going for a right leg kick, leg in the air. He takes a right. Boy, and you see his face. A little bit of smile. You know he's in trouble there. Boom. Big knee, a uppercut to the body. Uppercut. Picks him up and dumps him. And then Yair covers up, and that's it, man. Volkanovski pounds his way to victory. And that Islam fight just made him better. He's going to move to 26-2. Absolutely ridiculous. One of the best fighters in the game for sure, and that's why he's way up there on our dude list. And you see the fans from the home country going crazy. What a night. Alexander Volkanovski gets the win. So did Tricus Duplessis. So did Dan Hooker. All the guys. Big night for Tiger Muay Thai. And Adesanya's loving it. Volkanovski wins featherweight division. And still featherweight division champ. UFC 290.